Hello and welcome back to RimWorld and the Chronicles of Rimmick, Episode 2. Last episode, Rimmick was debating whether to try hunting down one of these migrating elk. It's maybe no surprise that she has indeed decided to risk it. The reason being is that soon it will be far too cold for any animals to migrate through here, and she needs to store up as much food as possible for the long winter. She notices that one of the elk has a small injury that will cause them not to hit quite as hard. She scores a free hit as the elk was not able to hit back, so she tries to run away and reset the encounter. This time the elk connects a hit, but seeing that the two females are far enough not to aggro, Rimmick continues the onslaught. Pretty close call given her severe pain status, but the day is won and she has another meal source. Fully bandaged and still in severe pain, Rimmick decides to get some much-needed recreation. Now we have a couple visitors from Rotaballo Treaty with a few items to trade. We trade away most of our components for all of their pemmican and herbal medicine, a couple of psychite tea, and a good condition Pila. Pila is arguably the worst ranged weapon in the game despite its high damage. It has low range and a long charge up and cooldown, but a ranged weapon it is. Rimmick has decided to hold off on construction until she has more use of her hands. This is indicated by the manipulation skill, which right now is only a bit over 50%. While she waits for her injuries to heal, she continues collecting steel for her many construction plans. Here, Rimek finally constructs the deadfall trap using the hoopstone ring as bait, but still needs to enclose it by completing the door. She expands the shelter to a more reasonable size where she can close the door at night without cooking herself in her sleep. Rimek again fails to construct the door and instead decides to finish the shelter. This choice may have repercussions later on. Rimek remembers these creatures of the dark and knows that it's best to leave them be. Rimek hears a spacer crash land in the south but decides to complete the rest of the shelter before investigating. After completing the shelter and having thought long and hard about survival chances and spare food, she decides to rescue them sight unseen. Here we capture Skye rather than rescuing her so that she can't choose to join the colony. Rimek was in the cold while constructing and is now reaching dangerous levels of hypothermia rescuing Skye. After an arduous trek through the snow, Rimek and Skye finally make it back to the warm shelter. With only herbal medicine and no bed, Skye getting an infection is quite serious. Skye is tended and fully fed, so all we can do is wait and see. Rimek attempts to open the roof to let some of the excess heat out of the room. Another snow hare wanders into the map, presenting the chance of a meal. Without hesitation, Rimek goes on the hunt. She saw an ancient table on the way past and decides to go claim it for the shelter. On her way south, the first of many mercenaries arrives, looking for the bounty on Rimmick's head. But before we resolve this attack on her new home, we're going to end things here. Join us next episode, where Rimmick desperately defends herself and her new patient from this violent assault. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please click that like button and subscribe to the channel. But for now, be kind, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.